In the hidden corners of Latin America, where poverty meets opportunity in the most dangerous ways, a handful of men and a few women rose to command empires worth billions. They flew private jets, built luxury compounds, and wielded more power than many governments. But their wealth came from poisoning millions with drugs, ordering thousands of murders, and tearing apart entire countries with violence. These were the most notorious drug cartel leaders in history. Figures like Pablo Escobar and Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, whose names still evoke fear decades later. Yet every one of them ended in prison, betrayal, or death. Their stories are legends of cunning or success. They read tragic warnings of how the pursuit of illegal power destroys everything it touches, from innocent lives to the leaders themselves. Join us in the Underworld archives as we uncover the rizzes, the atrocities, and the crushing falls of these infamous kingpins, and the vital lessons they leave behind. Our journey starts in Colombia during the 1970s and 80s, when cocaine exploded onto the global stage. At the center stood Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Born in 1949 to a farmer and a schoolteacher in Rio, Colombia, Escobar's ambition was evident from a young age. He reportedly told friends he would be a millionaire by 22. His path there, however, was through crime. He started with petty scams, selling counterfeit lottery tickets and smuggling stereo equipment. He even desecrated graveyards, stealing tombstones to resell them. But these small-time hustles were nothing compared to the gold rush he saw in cocaine. He co-founded the Medellin Cartel, turning Colombia into the world's cocaine supermarket. By the mid-1980s, Escobar was smuggling 15 tons of cocaine into the U.S. every day, earning hundreds of millions a week. Forbes listed him as one of the world's richest men, with a fortune estimated at $30 billion. Escobar didn't just sell drugs. He terrorized the nation to protect his business. Popularicet plata o plomo, silver ore, led bribing officials or killing those who refused. When Colombia tried extraditing traffickers to the U.S., Escobar waged war, bombing planes, assassinating judges, prosecutors, and presidential candidates. The 1989 Avianca Flight 203 bombing killed 107 innocents, just to target one man. He murdered rivals, police, and journalists. Over 4,000 deaths linked to him. Escobar built schools and housing in poor neighborhoods, earning the nickname Robin Hood, but it was manipulation, buying loyalty while flooding streets with addiction. His ego and violence isolated him. Allies turned as pressure mounted. In 1991, he surrendered for a custom-built prison, the Catedral, complete with luxuries, but escaped when the government tried moving him. A massive manhunt followed, involving U.S. forces and rival cartels. On December 2, 1993, the day after his 44th birthday, police tracked him and Escobar died on a rooftop, shot while fleeing. His empire collapsed, family scattered, fortune lost. The lesson from Escobar is stark. Brutality buys temporary fear, but it creates endless enemies. As Medellin fell, power shifted north to Mexico. None embodied this era more than Joaquín, Archivaldo, Guzmán, Laura, El Chapo. Born in 1957 in the rural, impoverished mountains of Sinaloa, Mexico, his childhood was marked by extreme poverty and the brutality of his father, an opium poppy farmer who beat him regularly. To help support his family, Guzmán dropped out of school and, under his father's influence, entered the drug trade as a boy, growing his own small marijuana patch. Ambitious and ruthless, he left his hometown and joined the Guadalajara Cartel, quickly rising as a lieutenant to its leader, Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo. When Gallardo was arrested in 1989, the cartel splintered, and Guzmán seized the opportunity, co-founding the Sinaloa Cartel. El Chapo revolutionized trafficking, digging sophisticated, mile-long tunnels under the U.S. border, hiding drugs in everything from Galapagos to furniture. Sinaloa became the world's most powerful cartel, supplying most cocaine, heroin, meth, and fentanyl entering America. He ordered hits on thousands, sparking wars that killed tens of thousands in Mexico from 2006 onward. Cities like Juarez became battlegrounds. Bodies hung from bridges, journalists silenced. Guzmán's flair for escapes made him infamous. Arrested in 1993, he bribed his way out in 2001, Recaptured in 2014, he escaped again in 2015 through a tunnel. But hubris caught up. In 2016, he was extradited to the US. His 2019 trial revealed horrors, ordering torture, murders, even feeding rivals to tigers. Convicted on all counts, El Chapo received life in America's toughest prison. His downfall highlights betrayal's inevitability in crime. Those closest turned on him for reduced sentences. In Colombia's shadow rose Griselda Blanco, the cocaine godmother. Her life of crime began earlier and more brutally than most. Born into extreme poverty in Cartagena in 1943. She was allegedly a pickpocket and prostitute by her early teens in the slums of Medellin. Legend says that at just 11 years old, she helped kidnap a boy from a wealthy family. And when his parents didn't pay the ransom, she shot him herself. This chilling act set the stage for a lifetime of violence. In the 1970s, she moved to New York and built a massive cocaine empire, pioneering roots from Colombia. Known for her explosive temper and paranoia, she allegedly ordered over 200 murders, including those of her own husbands, earning her the nickname the Black Widow. She invented the motorcycle assassin method for drive-by hits, which terrorized Miami during the cocaine cowboy wars. Blanco's paranoia grew with wealth. Arrested in 1985, she ran operations from prison until her release in 2004 and deportation to Colombia. Ironically, in 2012, at age 69, she was gunned down in Medellin, killed by a motorcycle assassin, the very method she had created. Her life teaches that violence invites retaliation. Living by the sword ensures dying by it. Today, leaders like Nemesio Segarra, Cervantes, El Mencho, of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, continue the cycle. Rising from police officer to trafficker, Mencho built CJNG into Mexico's most violent, using military tactics and extreme brutality. Fentanyl profits made it a top threat, but ongoing hunts and internal pressures mirror past patterns. Across these notorious figures Escobar, El Chapo Blanco, and others we see unbreakable truths. First, the drug trade's vast profits come at unimaginable human cost. Second, betrayal is built-in partners flip for survival. Third, no escape lasts forever. These leaders thought they were untouchable, but greed blinded them to the destruction they caused, including to their own families. Their stories prove crime doesn't pay, it erodes the soul and ends in cages or graves. Real success builds communities, not destroys them. If these cautionary tales hit home, reflect on paths that lead to true fulfillment. Which cartel leader's stories should we dive deeper into next? Comment below and subscribe to Underworld Archives for more raw looks at the Underworld's deadliest mistakes.